Alright, hello and welcome to another video by Johnny. In this video, I and my class IELTS 35, we will do a regular speaking practice today. And so yesterday we did writing test 1 of Cambridge 10 test 1, and we spent about an hour, less than an hour, to do a speaking practice, but today we will do like a 2 hours practice. Okay, let's come to part 1 and topic number 30. Topic number 30. Special costumes or clothes. Costumes. You know costumes? Costumes is a special kind of clothes that you wear only in kind of holiday or any kind of special occasion, you know. Trang phục, giống như trang phục lễ hội, trang phục.
Hello, teacher.
Hello, I know you're in because I let you in. Okay, or clothes, những trang phục đặc biệt hoặc là những cái.
I can't hear and I can't hear anything.
Are you sure you cannot hear anything? Miss Huyền, are you sure you cannot hear anything? Hey. Miss Huyền, are you still there? Okay, something must be wrong with her microphone. Let me let you in the room again. Waiting room. Nhiều khi là vấn đề của Zoom. Sometimes like Zoom has a problem with the server, I think. So just let her in and out the room. Might. Miss Huyền, are you still there?
Yes,
Okay,
can
good.
hear
It
you
fixed the problem now. So sometimes just let you into the waiting room and then getting back to the class. It solved the problem. Strange. Now let's do 30. Special costumes and clothes. Những trang phục đặc biệt và những đồ đặc biệt. Quần áo đặc biệt. So special clothes. So Miss Helen, do you like to wear special costumes or clothes?
Honestly, I'm not a fan of special clothes or costumes because it's seem inconvenience when we wear it, and I just feel I find it inactive.
You mean you find it not so convenient, not so comfortable to wear, you mean?
Yes, it's uncomfortable to wear it. And besides, it's so expensive.
It is expensive because you only get to wear them once or twice per year. But then it's very expensive to buy these kind of clothes. Like for example, wedding dress. Who buy wedding dress? Or do they rent it? Because you only have to wear it like once or maybe twice per in your whole lifetime, isn't it? So most of the people, they will choose to rent the wedding dress, but they will not buy it. Do you agree? Unless you want to get married many times.
But I did.
Oh, you did? What do you do? What do you do with the wedding dress afterward, Miss Ngan?
My aunt-in-law is nhà thiết kế là gì?
It's a designer.
The designer she made most of the dress for me on my wedding, and then after that, I tailor-made or the redesign for my daily occasional. So I can use or I can wear them frequently. That only once time in life.
But you do not use it after that time. So do you think it's worth buying it?
I utilize them in some special events, like attending luxury events, something like that.
I see.
So it's not waste.
Then it's good then.
Yes.
What do you think? Okay, so class, what do you think about the kind of clothes that you can? Okay, there are two sides in the clothes. Let's say this side you can use it for say formal occasion, but once you just when you just fold it, and the other side of the clothes can be used for different occasions. So it serves two purposes. What do you think about those kind of clothes? Multi-purpose clothes, đồ mặc mà có nhiều mục đích. What do you think about those kind of clothes?
Ví dụ thầy.
Like
basic à thầy? Đồ basic à?
Yeah, sometimes like the kind of clothes that was made special, so they can serve two different purposes. I haven't seen these kind of clothes because back then there used to be something like that, but these days because of consumerism, bởi vì chủ nghĩa tiêu dùng, so we do not see them anymore. Because people just buy and buy and buy new clothes if they want to, Anyway, let's come to the next question. So, Miss Wan, have you ever bought special costumes, and for what occasions do you buy them for?
I want to live a minimalist life. Minimalist life. So I don't want to buy special costume or something like that. So I prefer to rent it if it's necessary. Like for example,
necessary.
For example, when I rent a wedding dress when I married my husband.
When I married my husband, I see. Mm-hmm. Okay. I see. So, Miss Wan, when was the last time you wear special costumes? Miss Wan, please. When was the last time you wear special costumes?
That was 1 year ago. It was on my wedding.
Oh.
So that's a wedding dress.
Oh, I see.
So yeah, I rented it from a Vietnamese designer. So it was not really expensive, but it's a special, like just 1 or 2 versions of it.
I see. So, Miss Helen, did you wear any special costumes when you were younger? Like when you were a child, or when you were in your teenage years or something like that? Did you wear any special costumes back then, Miss Helen?
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't have any chance to wear such kind of clothes. But when I remember when I studied at the university, we had organized, we had a whole something like Halloween party, okay. And then we wear masks.
We wore
masks.
Worn. So wear, wore, worn. So we wore mask.
We wore mask. Together with some handmade designer clothes, yes, to make the parties more exciting.
Ah, I see. So, Miss Helen, do you think special costumes have special meanings behind them?
Yes, I believe so. everything has its own purpose,
Hmm.
and clothes or costumes is not exception.
It's not an exception.
It's not an exception.
It's not
And for example, wedding dress, they usually designed in red color that represent to lucky
represent luck. Nhân từ represent luck.
Represents luck.
Represents luck.
Represents
luck. Màu đỏ nó đại diện cho may mắn, sự may mắn. Red represents luck. But how about white? But in a most wedding, we use the color white, you know.
White, perhaps it's emotion and
it's about
luxury.
I don't think so. I think white represents what's it called? Sự thuần khiết, like pureness. Pureness. Sự thuần khiết. Pureness. But you need to pronounce them right, okay? Pure, not poor. Pureness is pureness. And how about black? Because a lot of the groom, they wear black. Chú rể mặc màu đỏ đen. But why black? What do you think?
I think a black vest makes them more gentleman.
Makes them look more like a
gentleman. Look more gentleman.
That's an interesting point. But what if they are not so gentle to begin with? Nếu mà ngay lúc đầu họ không gentle thì sao? What if they are not gentle to begin with? Yeah. Anyway, Miss Huyên, please.
Yes.
So, have you ever bought special costumes, and for what occasions?
I have bought a special costume. It's a prom dress.
Sorry.
And
it's a
prom dresses. Prom dresses.
A prom.
Yes.
A prom dress. The prom. It's like it's like a party dress.
Yes, like that. And I ordered this dress for 3 months, and I used this for the yearbook photo. But the COVID-19, and we didn't have
any.
Yeah, and anything is delayed, and so I just bring the dress into my wardrobe, and just.
You mean your wardrobe? Wardrobe.
Yeah. Yes, wardrobe.
So the dress is now sitting in your wardrobe.
Your wardrobe, and the dress is staying for now 4 months, 5 months, and the dress is very expensive. It's a limited item dress from a designer, but I can wear to go out.
I see.
Yes.
You know, I never like to go to parties, so I never have this kind of dress.
It's very regret for me.
Because whenever I go to parties, I always wear like my own style. I do not follow any kind of rules in terms of dress code. You know, dress code.
Yes, dress code.
Dress code. Phương cách mà mọi người phải mặc theo đúng cái dịp đó. Dress code is basically a way of behavior, a way people should dress in a special occasion. Like, for example, you should never wear a colorful dress when you attend a funeral. Không bao giờ đi đám tang mặc đồ sặc sỡ. Like, for example, otherwise, if you wear these kind of clothes, it means that you are very happy that a person died. And that is very offensive. Nó rất là xúc phạm. Okay, anyway. So, Miss Huyên, when was your last time wearing special costume?
I think my last costume is a white dress in my father's birthday.
Your
We
father's
have-
birthday.
Yes, we have a organization big party, and I wear this dress for.
I wore this dress.
I wore this
wore.
dress.
Worn.
Wore.
I wore this dress.
I wore this dress and to congratulation for my birthday. Congratulations for my birthday. My father's birthday. Yes, and we have a lot of picture. We have to take photo of this.
We have taken photos of this.
Yes, it's very funny. I like the party.
I see. Okay, let's move on to sky and stars. Bầu trời và những vì sao. Sky and star. So, Miss Ngân, please. Do you like to look at the sky? What do you see there?
Yes. As a farmer, I have to look at the sky to forecast the weather, and then arrange my tasks probably or accordingly.
Properly.
Properly,
một cách đàng hoàng.
Yeah.
Properly.
Or accordingly.
Accordingly. Or properly. Một cách đàng hoàng. Một cách...
Properly. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, very good.
Yeah.
So Miss Helen, do you prefer the sky in the morning or the sky at night?
Yeah, I prefer the sky at night. Just because at night we can take in constellations more.
You can see the
more.
constellation. Những chòm sao.
Much clearer.
Constellation. Những chòm sao. We can see the constellations.
Constellation.
So we have the adjective stellar. The adjective is stellar, which means belongs to the stars. Thuộc về những vì sao. And of course, the noun is star. So please, Miss Helen, can you continue? So you said you prefer to look at the sky at night because you can see the constellations and
much more clearer and just with the naked eyes. We don't need any facilities or a telescope. Besides, at night is peace and quiet. So when we look at the sky, maybe it makes me feel more pleasurable, relaxing.
Feel more relaxed. Feel more relaxed.
Feel more relaxed.
Cẩn thận, tính từ bị động. It's
Pleasurable.
It's passive adjective. I feel more relaxed. Okay, so Miss Wan, please. Would you like to travel to outer space? Outer space, vũ trụ.
I would like to travel to outer space, but of course, in reality, I know it's so expensive, so it's out of my my capability.
It's out of my ability. Ra khỏi cái gì khả năng tôi có thể rồi. It's out of my ability. I see. So, can you imagine what it would be like to travel to outer space, Miss Wan? Can you imagine what it would be like to travel to the outer space?
Sometimes I imagine it.
Imagine it.
Imagine it. So I think I would stand on the something like a desert, and it would be dark, has some stars on the sky, and maybe it is windy too.
Oh, maybe it's windy too. I see. You know, outer space, actually there's no air in there, or very little amount of air on the outer space. So we will not be able to hear sound on the outer space. Do you know that, class?
No?
Trên vũ trụ không có không khí hoặc là ít không khí, cho nên nó không có môi trường dẫn truyền, cho nên sẽ không có thể nào dẫn truyền âm thanh được tốt. Người ta sẽ không nghe thấy gì cả. People won't hear anything on the outer space, but they can see light, of course, very easily. Ánh sáng thì nhìn thấy rất là dễ dàng. And so, Miss Huyền, please.
Yes.
Are there any good places to look at the sky where you live?
Yes. In my city, we have a park and have a large view to see the sky. It's very beautiful at night. Those lights in the street is very beautiful, and I can stand next to the river and look in the sky and see the star, and looking for a peaceful and very relaxed, and that make me feel like I enjoy with the sky. I can fly.
I
It's
can
very
fly with the
beautiful.
sky, and that's a very beautiful.
Yes, very beautiful.
Very beautiful thinking you have.
Yes,
Now,
and it's good places.
It's good places. Okay, so Miss Huyền, do you think that we humans can live on Mars in the 21st century? What do you think? Bạn có nghĩ là thế kỷ 21 con người có thể sống trên sao Hỏa được không?
I think it doesn't. It is possible because in this Mars we don't have oxygen. We don't have
create oxygen in there. We can create oxygen in there.
Create it? Really?
We can create oxygen on Mars by humans' activities. We can do that.
Oh.
It's called terraforming. It's called terraforming, which means like you transform the whole planet into a paradise that human can live. Okay.
Okay.
That's good to know, you know.
Yes.
All right. So, I think it's time we go to part 2. Oh, by the way, Miss Huyền, I think Huyền đến lúc đi học đóng học phí nha.
Vâng ạ.
Okay. You missed out 3 occasionally, so that's why I told you please pay.
Yes.
Okay. I'm very blunt. You know, sometimes I'm very blunt and honest.
Hôm qua em mơ là em chưa đóng học phí, xong thầy kích em ra ngoài rồi.
You dreamt that you dreamt.
Yes, I dreamed this.
And then,
I think it's a signal.
What?
This signal for me to pay money for you.
Okay. To pay you, not pay for you.
Pay for you.
Pay you.
I don't need to remind.
Pay for someone tức là em trả giùm cho người ta đó. Còn pay someone là em đưa cái tiền phí đó cho ai đó.
Yeah.
Pay for someone means like someone is studying and you pay for that person so they can learn. So like for example, your parents can pay for you. But when you said you pay me, it means you give me that money.
Yes.
Remember, pay me, pay you, not pay for someone.
Pay you.
Cái ngữ cảnh nó khác nha.
Vâng.
Pay someone hoặc là pay for someone khác nhau. Okay, so let's do part 2. Đó là giấc mơ trái ngược, don't worry. It's the opposite dream. In reality, I would never do that. You know that, right?
Yes.
Because I'm not a heartless person. Tôi có trái tim, tôi không phải là người mà lạnh, giống như là không có trái tim. You know, recently, basically just a few days ago, and to now, there are still an ongoing debate about international schools in Vietnam, you know.
Yeah.
They keep increasing the tuition fee despite COVID-19 pandemic. Did you hear about that, class?
No.
Mấy trường quốc tế Việt Nam á, dù có Covid vẫn cứ tăng giá học phí ở bên
See
nhà.
the tuition fee.
Yes.
Và phụ huynh học sinh họ rất là bực bội lắm luôn á.
But because they have no choice, like my friend, she sends the daughter to the good school, and even it's in COVID-19, and she is the first grade, but the school still took like 80%
You mean
fee.
they still require tuition? You mean?
Yeah, required
How
tuition.
much, do you know how much does she paid for the child?
I don't really remember, but as far as I know, as far as I remember, it's about 12 million per month.
So
For
that's
the first,
150, about 144 million per year.
yes, and she's at first grade.
I thought it was kindergarten.
Actually, when she was in the kindergarten, her mother paid a lot too.
Oh,
But she's really good at English. Like the accent is like native.
like native. You know that? Did you know that I am the one who taught myself English? School did not help much. They do have an environment for people to learn, but most of my
Yes.
classmates, well, most of them, right now, they do not speak good English. So my conclusion is that if the child really wants to learn, they will learn.
Yes.
I don't think the school is that much important these days anymore.
Yes, I told my friends that too. Like I told her, like when we was a kid,
When we were children.
When we were children, we grow up from the rural side, and we grew up from the rural side, and we even went to a village school. But we were 5. We went to university.
Exactly. There you go.
Yes, and it more depends on the personalities.
It depends more on
Personalities.
Exactly.
And the ability of person.
And the budget.
I think it's important to inspire them.
Exactly.
The love in studying, and then they can make their own decision.
Decision. Okay, now let's go on to part 2 about describe an important place in your city. Miêu tả một nơi mà quan trọng trong thành phố của các bạn. You should say where it is, nó ở nơi nào. How often do you go there? Bạn đi đến đó thường đến mức thế nào? What people do there, con người ta làm gì ở đó? Explain why it is important. Giải thích lý do tại sao cái nơi đó quan trọng. This topic, there's only part 2. So after this one, we should go to a topic with part 2, like for example, 57. Okay, you have 2 minutes to think. 2 phút bắt đầu. Okay, let's do it now. Let's start with Miss Ngan first. Can you describe an important place in your city, Miss Ngan?
Yes, it's my pleasure to introduce my homeland, Gò Công town, belong to Tiền Giang province, where I was born and grew up.
Where I was born and raised.
Yes, and raised. This land is famous about king family in Nguyễn dynasty.
Dynasty. In the Nguyen dynasty.
Yes. Typically, the land of beauty, where where has two famous Impress,
Impressed.
Từ Dụ and Nam Phương.
Impressive.
And it's also
Impresses.
impressive.
We have impresses. What is impress? Hàng hoàn hậu, right? Isn't it?
Yes.
Những
And it's also a place of national hero.
national heroes.
National hero students. Typically, one of the important places is Royal Tomb. Mr. Phạm Đăng Hưng, a grandfather of King Tự Đức, and the father of Impress Từ Dụ. So after he died, the Nguyễn dynasty built here the temple and the tomb of the king family.
Yes.
According with the architecture of the king dynasty at that time. And people, I went here one time. People can take a photo with the historical architecture, visit the tomb, and see some family photo in a mini gallery.
Okay.
And also enjoy artifact in Nguyễn dynasty.
So that's why you think it was important, I see.
Yes, and this is like a remarkable landmark of my city.
A remarkable landmark of my city. Một cái signature. It's a signature place. Một cái nơi mà giống như là chữ ký của cái nơi đó luôn. Một cái nơi giống như cực kỳ quan trọng là cái giống như là
What's come when you come here?
It's like when you mention a place, mention about a city, then people immediately think of that place. That's a signature place.
Yes.
Signature place. Signature. The place is a signature of the city. Now, so Miss Helen, please, can you describe an important place in your city?
Honestly, for a small province like my city, I don't think we can find any high-rise conquest building or skyscrapers. So I think the most important place for me and the local people, perhaps the market.
Okay.
There's a slab bank in the middle of the city, so it's quite convenient for many people. Can
quite
so
important for many people
to access
to get access to, để có thể tiếp cận được.
To get access to.
Now, so why do you think it was important, Miss Helen?
It's important because that's the place where supply many necessary items. The local people can come here to buy fresh produce.
Okay.
And
produce
and even handmade scraps or different kinds of tools.
Different kind of tools.
Tools.
Nó giống cái chữ schools đó. Cái trường học schools đó. Tools. Different kinds of tools. And that's why I think it was important.
Yes, I think so.
Okay, very good, thank you. Mình nên kết lại, mình nên nói tất cả những cái điểm này nhưng mà kết lại 2 phút thôi nha các bạn. You have only 2 minutes, so try to be concise.
Oh no.
Try not to go out
Oh,
too quick,
no.
okay? Did someone say something?
Yes.
Miss Huyền, what do you say?
No. I agree with you.
Okay, your turn, please. Describe an important place in a city, Miss Huyền, please.
I think for situation nowadays, the important place in my city is Vincom Center. Because in there have a lot of.
There have a lot of.
In there have.
In there have a lot of.
In there are have.
In there.
Sorry.
There are a lot of.
There have a lot of like.
Tồn tại gì đó. There are there is.
Yes.
There
have a lot of food, black con game, or meals like that to our demands for our life, and
different demands for our life.
Yes, demand for our lives, and can be a response for the entertainment of young children, young men, young guys, and guys
là từ không phù hợp cho IELTS. Remember, guys,
really?
Guys, kids, stuff.
Yeah.
Mom, dad. You should never use this word. For young people, for young people, men and women.
Yeah.
Say for young men,
for young people, and they often go to the centers because they buy food and play games and just demands for they need. And I think why it's important because the center is out of line, the hopes of COVID-19, and so maybe nowadays they have a get higher credit, and so the people's very respect this center, and sometimes it's very overlooked to people.
Very respect.
Their respect, very
center very much.
Yeah.
Very doesn't plus very doesn't go together with a verb. Remember, please.
Yeah.
You say a very plus an adjective. Không có very like, very respect, very love. Nah, there's nothing like that. They respect it very much.
Yeah.
Okay, now, Miss One, please. Can you describe an important place in your city? Oh, it's raining out there. Your microphone, please, Miss One. Oh, by the way, Miss One. Oh, by the way, your package is still at my place. Cái gói hàng của em vẫn còn nhà thầy nha.
Vâng, để em nhắc họ qua lấy.
Okay, please.
Chắc tại vì Covid á.
Yeah. Okay, Miss One, please. Describe an important place in your city.
In my city, the popular place to everyone that is the front beach, and I think
the what? It's the
front. It called front beach.
It's an eco-friendly beach. You mean?
No, front. Trước á? No.
Eco-front. Eco-front. Eco-front beach. The
eco-front beach. And the way makes it is very popular is the government make it is free for everyone. And yes, and it has the way surround the beach and a park.
Okay.
Has the government even change the design every month, so people can go there to take photo to post photos. And in the Central Park there children space
play there.
Yes, and they can go watching or or some other activity for free.
They can do other activities for free.
Yes,
Why you think it was important?
because
I think it was important because
I think it's important because everyone can go there, enjoy the nature, and
enjoy nature.
even for what
Nature không có the nature nha.
enjoy
Enjoy nature.
Enjoy nature, walking release the stress, and it make everyone feel better. So it is a way make it popular in my city.
Very good, very good. Rồi các bạn, bây giờ mình qua chủ đề số 57 đi. Let's go to 57 because there is a part 3 in there. Không phải là it has a part 3 in there. Nhớ nha. There is or there are part 3 in those kind of topics, so we should do that. Now, describe a thing you refuse to lend. To lend means like you have something, you give people and then they have to give it back to you. Cho mượn.
Yes.
Lend. But to borrow means you ask people to give something to you, so you have to give them back. Borrow là mượn người ta, còn lend là cho mượn. Miêu tả một thứ mà bạn đã từ chối cho mượn. Describe a thing you refuse to lend. You should say what the thing was. Cái thứ đó đã là thứ gì. Who wanted or to borrow it from you. Ai đã muốn mượn nó từ các bạn. Why he or she wanted to borrow it from you. Tại sao anh ta hoặc cô ta lại muốn là mượn nó từ các bạn. And explain why you refused him or her. Lại thích lý do tại sao bạn lại từ chối anh ta hoặc cô ta. In the past, be careful. This is a thing in the past. And you have part 3 of borrowing or lending things. What situations should people lend things to others and why? Tình huống nào con người ta nên cho người khác mượn những thứ này thứ kia? Tại sao? Why is lending money to others a risky thing to do? Tại sao cho mượn tiền người khác là một thứ rất là rủi ro để làm? Should people borrow money to buy expensive things? Why not? Con người ta có nên mượn tiền để mua những thứ mắc tiền hay không? Tại sao hoặc tại sao không? Okay, so you have 2 minutes to think about this topic, please. Okay, let's start now. Describe a thing that you refuse to lend. Let's start with Miss Huyền first. Can you describe a thing that you refused to lend people?
Yes. The item I refused to lend people is the new blazers I was brought for my birthday. Yes, I brought by my own money, and my friend have want to lend this item, and she wanted to lend this because she have a date with her boyfriend, and she want to be beautiful. And she like this. Yes, and she likes my new blazer, and she asked me, but I don't like this because I didn't like it. I don't like it. I didn't like it because I never wore this item before I have it. So I refuse to lend this item because I don't like sharing clothes. If I share this clothes for another people, and that can be a door smell another person. I don't like that. The smell of another person.
Smell of another person, do you?
Yes, I don't like this.
Of course.
So especially I just never lend this for her. So
to
that
her? I didn't lend it to her.
Yes, I refuse. I refuse it.
You refuse to lend it to her. Okay, I see.
Yes,
now, very good. Ngắn gọn rồi được rồi. It's good enough. Miss Oanh, please, can you describe a thing that you refuse to lend?
It was 2 years ago when I traveled with my best friend, and even she is one of my best friend. But when she she wanted to borrow my dress because she was into it very much. But because I didn't like to share my clothes with other people, so I had to refuse her, even I feel a little bit guilty.
And then what happened?
Then she treated me like I'm very
I felt
greedy.
a little bit guilty, and she treated me.
But and the way she treated me, like I'm a little bit guilty to her because it was just a dress. But because if she wore it, I would never wear it again because I don't want to. I would never wear it again.
I would never wear it again.
I would never wear it again because I like I said, I don't want to share my clothes.
Of course, you should never do that. Now, another thing that you should never lend to people is that never lend your boyfriend or girlfriend. Không bao giờ nên cho mượn bộ. Okay, I'm just joking, of course. Now, so Miss Helen, please, can you describe a thing that you refused to lend?
Yes, it's a long time ago. One of my colleagues
Colleagues.
asked me.
Colleagues.
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 Colleagues. One of my colleagues asked me to lend her my laptop, and at first I feel quite.
At first I felt
quite surprised. Surprised.
I felt quite surprised.
I felt quite surprised because to me, laptop is something very
personal,
private.
Very personal, very private. It is.
So I didn't share it with her, and inside I just thought that in laptop I had many secrets, many
files, valuable
documents. With files and valuable documents, so it will be risky.
It will be risky
to give it to the third person.
Okay.
And she tried to persuade me. Because her laptop examined by a technical wise.
Need to be examined by a technician, you mean?
Need examined by a technician. Why her classes lớp học mình còn có 5 phút nữa diễn ra thôi.
Because the class is just 5 minutes until it began. The class, because she had only 5 minutes until the class began.
Because she only had 5 minutes until the class began, and that's an important class because the managers will, because the manager would participate in and observe.
Sorry.
Tức là cái buổi họp đó nó sẽ có các thầy cô và ban giám đốc cùng tham gia đánh giá.
There will be teachers and the board of director. The
board of
director. Đó là cái ban giám đốc ấy. The board of directors, ban giám đốc. The board of directors.
There were other teachers and the board of directors observed.
Now, so that's good enough. Miss One, please. Did you describe it? Oh, you did, right? Miss Ngan, please.
Yes.
Can you describe a thing you refuse to lend, please?
Yes, I tend to refuse to lend something personal related items and valuable accessory and sensitive
Items.
things like money, especially money. Because according my lesson in the past,
to my past lessons.
yes, according to my past lesson, my close friend,
quá khứ, những trải nghiệm, kinh nghiệm quá khứ. Let's say
Yeah.
according to my past experience or experiences, if you want to say trải nghiệm, if you want to say kinh nghiệm, according to my past experience, without. You can use experiences with S or without S. It depends on what kind of idea you have in mind. Okay.
yeah.
Now, according to my past experience,
According to my past lesson and experience, my close friend borrow amount of money for his starting up his business
startup.
and then intentionally forget to give it back as promised. After a few times of reminding, he ignored and refused to pay back with many unreasonable reasons.
Excuses. Những lý do lý cháu, excuses.
Yeah,
Better
excuses.
say excuses because it fits the situation much better than the word reasons. Nó phù hợp
Yeah.
với một tình huống này.
Yes.
Lý do, lý cháu, excuses nghe nó ổn hơn.
Yes, ignore and refuse to pay it back with many excuses. Therefore, I draw a lesson and make a conclusion that I'm willing to help when people are truly in financial difficulty, like unprivileged people, and then I can ready to do like charity activity without paying back. But I refuse to lend money to due to relationship losing or breaking down, potentially tiềm ẩn đó này. Potentially risk.
And potentially risks losing a relationship, right?
Yes, due to a potentially risk of relationship breaking down and losing.
Very good, very good. That is borderline, but basically our class, there are a lot of the good ideas in our class. So I think all of you are somewhere about 6.5 to 7.0. Sometimes I can see that it reaching about 7.5, but very rarely. So that's why I think about 6.5 to 7. Our class is somewhere around that. Lớp mình cỡ bằng 6,5, 7 chấm rồi. Nhưng mà đôi khi gặp những chủ đề khó mấy bạn tụt xuống còn 6. Sometimes when you see like difficult situations, difficult topics, it drops down to 6 and 6, I think. Now, so let's do part 3 of borrowing and lending things. So, Miss One, please. What situations should people lend things to others and why? What do you think?
In my opinion, in some situations, people can lend things. For example, when the things are very expensive and people just use it for a limited time.
For a limited amount of time, you mean?
For limited amount of time.
Limited.
For limited.
Use it for a limited amount of time.
Use it for a limited amount of time. For example, I know some business has expanded very fast, like renting clothes.
Expanded a lot in the past, you mean?
Expanded, developed very fast about renting things to people. For example, renting clothes, like special clothes for some celebrities, and or rental equipment for photography or camera to do photography and camera.
Những làm hài nha. Photography. Nhiếp ảnh.
Photography and camera.
Okay, good. Now, so Miss Huyền, please. So why is lending money to others a risky things to do?
I think I'm sorry. I look another question. Okay. I think people lend money is a risky thing to do because we don't know exactly they will pay back money first, and maybe they will take money away. They take flyer in somewhere that we can never know, and
they can use it for like purposes that we might never acknowledge. Không bao giờ biết được. We acknowledge được, không biết được. Yeah. And then?
And they can use our money for something terrible and can use Leon's names ours. You know, like
you mean use the money in our name.
Yes.
Dùng tiền
in our name.
Dùng tiền với danh nghĩa người khác. Use the money.
Yes.
The money in someone's name. Dùng tiền với danh nghĩa của người khác, dưới danh nghĩa của người khác. Use the money in someone's names.
Yes, and cast us to have a responsibility of the action terribles of them. And I think it's very risky to lend money to the other.
Okay. It's super risky actually. But banks, they do that because they are very professional. They ask for, of course, interest when you borrow money from a bank. And if people borrow money from banks for illegal activities, then I don't think the bank has any problem with that, I think, because they don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, but when individuals let other people borrow money and then they don't know what the money is used for, what purposes, then that is risky, of course.
Yeah, risky.
Okay, now so Miss Helen, please. Should people borrow money to buy expensive things? Like, for example, buying a house, for example, or buying a car? Why or why not?
I think if people borrow money to buy a new car, it's a new car. I think that it depends on what they will use the car for.
What do you
for business or just show off. If for business, maybe I will support them a sum of money in my ability. If it depends on the relationship, I mean, if it is my brother, but it's just totally strangers, maybe no.
Well, if it's a total stranger, then no.
Yes, I would say no. And for most of people, For most of the people, I recommend they should consider before lending
others.
Yeah, before lending others. But it's too dangerous, too risky.
It's too risky.
too risky to do so.
To do so. I see. But you know, class, you know that a lot of people, they borrow money to buy houses, but when things became bad, for example, pandemic, during the pandemic, COVID-19, a lot of people, they became bankrupt, right? Họ bị phá sản. They became bankrupt. And so the thing that they buy is, of course, it becomes the property of the bank. Afterward, ngân hàng sẽ lấy cái tài sản đó luôn, thế chấp mà. Because, of course, when they borrow money from the bank to buy a house, for example, and if they cannot pay the interest anymore, if they cannot pay the bank anymore, the bank has the right to just take that property. Of course, they have that right. And that thing happened many times around me. I can see that. So borrowing money to buy expensive things can be very risky. But in life, they say that if you risk, the more you risk, the bigger gain you might be able to get. Do you believe in that? Đó, mình có tin là càng liều thì càng ăn nhiều không? You believe that the more risk you take, the more gain you can get, you can potentially get. Do you believe in that?
No, I don't think so.
I think so.
Okay, please, Miss Ngân.
Yes.
And then Miss On, you be later, okay? Okay, Miss Ngân, please.
So I answer just the.
Do you believe that? Okay, Miss Ngân, do you believe that the more risk people take, the more gain or the more benefits they can get potentially?
Yes, as a positive approach in doing business, I think there is always a good opportunity in challenging. So it's good enough to take the risk in safety zone.
In the safe zone, you mean in the safe
zone when you have enough knowledge or awareness of the risk that you take. And sometimes doing business like play a card.
It's like playing cards.
Playing cards. Yes.
Playing cards.
And the more you
invest.
But it doesn't mean that you always take the risk in a stupid way.
You have to take calculated risk.
Calculated risk, yes. That's what I mean.
Phải mạo hiểm mà có tính toán đàng hoàng. Take calculated risk. Okay, that's very good. How about you, Miss Oan? Well, you said you don't believe. So why?
In my opinion, it's not about earning money. It's about the percentage that you will that people can lose money through the business. For example, many people gain a lot of money through investment of stock market or even crypto market. Cryptocurrencies.
We call it cryptocurrency.
As far as I see, the cryptocurrency has been developed very fast and even has reached 100 times
its original value, cái giá trị ban đầu của nó. It has reached more than 100 times its original value. Nó đạt được hơn 100% 100 lần cái giá trị lúc đầu của nó rồi. It has reached
100 times its original value. But beside the people who have knowledge on its market, there are many people think that more risk and more gain, so they invest a lot, and what they get is zero. Like the coin become the coin got down and they lose all money.
The value of the coins dropped, and
the value of the coin dropped after a bad news, and they lose all money after one night. So I can say that in the business way, you need knowledge and also need the patience to understand about it and gain it from time to time. It's not a dream.
Very good, very good. Now let's move on to another part 2 that has part 3 in there as well. So we have 52 here. 52. Describe the person you would like to become in 10 years. So this is something about the future. Miêu tả một cái người mà bạn muốn trở thành trong vòng 10 năm, tức là mình sẽ nói về chuyện tương lai. So you will have to use like future tenses and future expression, you know. You should say, what kind of person you are now. Bây giờ bạn là người như thế nào? What kind of person you want to become. Bạn muốn trở thành người như thế nào trong tương lai? What you need to do to become that person. Bạn cần làm cái gì để trở thành cái người đó? And explain why you want to become a person like that. Giải thích lý do tại sao bạn muốn trở thành cái người như thế. And then part 3 is about ambition, tham vọng. What kind of ambition do people have? Con người ta thường có những cái loại tham vọng như thế nào? Why should parents encourage children to have ambitions? Tại sao các bậc cha mẹ nên khuyến khích con trẻ có tham vọng? Should parents interfere with children's ambitions? Các bậc cha mẹ có nên can thiệp vào những tham vọng của con trẻ không? Is there any difference between children's ambitions and those of grown-ups? Liệu có sự khác biệt nào giữa cái tham vọng của trẻ nhỏ và những cái tham vọng của những người lớn hay không? Should teachers encourage students to have ambitions? Những người giáo viên có nên khuyến khích sinh viên, học sinh là có tham vọng hay không? Like for example, this class I can encourage you to get to band 8. That is ambitious. Nếu mà các bạn học hành cẩn thận, làm theo tất cả những video và làm theo đúng cách thì có thể lên được band 8 đấy. If you do everything correctly, according to my methods, you can get up to band 8. I'm not kidding. In academic. And provided that the day of your exams, you eat well, you slept well, and you ate well, and then you feel good about yourself, then your exam will be good. So that is ambition. Now, so you have 1.5 minutes to think about topic number 52. 1 phút rưỡi, bắt đầu. All right, let's do it. Let's start with Miss Helen first. Can you describe the person you would like to become in 10 years, please?
I think that's a hard question, a tough question.
It's a hard question.
Yes. At present, I just a normal housewife. I feel myself quite pretty introverted. I don't have many chance to meet other people, to interact with other people.
Interact with other people, you mean?
Yes, I don't have many chances to interact with other people. And I just stay at home, take care of children, and do some unpaid work So maybe not in 10 years, maybe just 2 years later, I just hope I can change my life, become a teacher and more
you'd like to become a
confident.
teacher in what subject?
English,
Oh,
I suppose so.
Oh, that's why you're here. Okay, I see. That's why you are here.
Yeah, and then I can get my own salary to buy the thing I like.
Yes.
And one thing is, and the most vital thing is, I can pass down my experience as well as the knowledge to younger generations.
Yes. To the younger generations. Very good. That's very ambitious. Very good. Now, Miss Huyền, please, can you describe the person that you would like to become in 10 years?
Yes, this kind of person.
Miss Huyền, can you
Now-
turn up your volume? Tăng vô âm lượng, please.
Yes, you can hear me.
Yes. Okay, good.
Before I talk about my person in the futures, I want to talk about my person now. Now I am a sensitive girl, maybe sometimes weaker, sometimes be lazy, don't want to do anything, and I am a generous person. I can pay anything for somebody, and just I want to have a good relationship, and a kind, a warm heart to have another people.
Okay.
That I like to become a successful people in the future, and more confident, more creative in to do anything to make the successful way in the future, and maybe more optimistic about myself, and what I need to do become that person. I think I need to teach myself to learn and grow,
Exactly.
and recognize about my mistake and try to correct it.
Mistake, not recognize
Yeah.
about. Recognize
The mistake,
my mistakes or the mistakes.
their mistake, and try to correct it. And I have a lesson or idiom like early bird, because if we are early raising our orphan, we can be more successful.
Yes. All right.
And
Yes,
and I want to be an eager beaver, to hardworking, like that.
I need to be more hardworking.
Yeah, because I so lazy.
I mean, I need to be more hardworking too. I finished one book already, but
Yeah.
I'm kind of lazy today, I think. Continue with the second book. Maybe I just need inspiration. You know,
Everyone
I'm
always
doing
lazy.
creative work now, and I definitely need inspiration. Okay, now so Miss On, please, can you describe the person you would like to become in 10 years?
After 2 years running my own business, I'm tired and feel it's lonely to do it alone. And also I realized that I have the weakness of communication with people when I after a long time doing everything alone. So
Alone.
alone.
Alone. Doing everything alone.
Doing everything alone.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm taking the IELTS course to go to university to do the master degree. So I would become
master degree. Yes.
the master degree, and I would like to be a researcher or a lecturer, so I can emit out my idea about business. That what I know, many students are
Clueless.
are having a passion about it.
Of course, passionate about it. And that's why I want to become a person like that. Okay, good, very good. Miss Nhắn, please. Can you describe the person you would like to become in 10 years, please?
Yes, I really admire some women who can fulfill all the roles of wife, mother, and businesswoman in their specified field. And they are also my model, who I want to become in 10 years. And by achieving my goals throughout by putting a great deal of my effort and time in hard working every day, I step by step to perfect myself.
Yes.
Not only in my knowledge,
But
my experience, my nhân phẩm là gì thầy?
My virtue, phẩm giá, phẩm hạnh.
Yeah.
Virtue. Phẩm giá, phẩm hạnh, đức hạnh. My virtue.
Virtue and skill. These are necessary elements and factor to become a successful woman. And the most important reason that I want to become this person, that is it's really important for me to become this model while I have a daughter, so I become a good model for her to imitate
and follow.
Imitate decent characteristics from me.
Yes.
It's the first step to cultivate my impatient, determination, diligence to become a decent citizen in the future.
It is diligence. Okay, very good. Now let's go to ambitions. So, Miss Helen, please. So, what kinds of ambitions do people have? Miss Helen, please. Your microphone, please. Your microphone, please. Okay. What kinds of ambitions do people have, Miss Helen?
To tell the truth, I don't know much how many kinds.
Okay, but we know that people have ambitions about business, have ambition about love, about study, about their career path. You, Miss Helen, you have ambition about career path, yes? Like, you can think of other kind of ambitions.
I think it depends on the age. if younger people, maybe the ambitions on studying result, but for adult people, it's a different one. Like you say, it's the ambition of career path. So in each kinds of ambition, they have different ways to achieve their target.
Yes, and okay, so next question for Miss Helen is, why should parents encourage children to have ambitions? What do you think?
Yeah, most of parents
Most of the
parents encourage children to have ambitions just because they want their children can overcome their limits.
To be able to overcome.
Pardon, can you repeat that sentence?
They want their children to be able to overcome.
They want their children to be able to overcome their limited
limits. Những giới hạn của
their limits.
There are limits to overcome their limits.
To overcome their own limit and recognize the inner power. I mean the strength.
The strength.
Of it. The strength.
Very well. So, Miss Wan, please. So, should parents interfere with children's ambitions, and why?
In my opinion, the parents should not interfere the children.
Shouldn't interfere.
Ambition.
Shouldn't interfere with.
Interfere with the children's ambitions, because many people has been very successful, even they have a normal route. And as far as I know, everybody has the dream to become better. So the parents should encourage children to discover the inner power. To discover the inner power to be success in the future.
To be successful
in the future.
Very good. Right. So, Miss Wan, please. So, is there any difference between children's ambitions and those of grown-ups?
In my opinion, there is a huge gap between children.
There are a few gaps.
There are a few gaps between children's ambition and grown up and grown up people. For example, the children ambitions are very simple. They are just do what they want. For example, about clothes, about class and studying.
Yes.
For người lớn là gì thầy nhỉ?
Sorry.
Người trưởng thành nhé.
Grown
quên mất từ đấy.
Grown-ups or adults?
No.
Adults.
For adults, it's more complicated when they they have to face many problems in life. So
many problems in their lives.
Many problems in their life. So they would have more ambition about money, about career, and about complicated things in happiness.
Very good. Now, Miss Ngân, please. So, should teachers encourage students to have ambitions? What do you think, Miss Ngân?
Yes, I think the teacher should encourage students to have their ambitions. Why? The roles of the teacher in school, like a parent at school, a parent at home, it's the same role.
A similar role.
A similar role. So besides the parent encourage them at home and cultivate and nurture them, their ambition, teacher should do the same. And teacher they easily see the student's strength and can cultivate and build their ambition based on this strength and based on the smart rule.
The intelligence, how smart the students are. You mean?
The smart rule here, it means that the smart stands for SMART. It means that specific, measurable, attainable,
you mean
relevant
abilities. You mean the different kind of intelligence. You mean nhiều loại trí thông minh khác nhau. Is that what you meant?
No, I don't think it's the smart is mean intelligent here, but the smart people set their goal or their ambition based on their real ability. For example, if they're good at some field, they will to be the expert in this field easier than the other. Okay. So that means reality, based on that strength and reality, ability, and they can reach that goal.
Mm-hmm. They can reach that goal. Okay, very good. Now, Miss Nguyen, please. So, yes. What kinds of ambition do people have? What do you think?
I think there's kind of ambition is a lot of, and I think
there are a lot of kind of ambition. You mean?
Yes, there are a lot of kinds of ambition. But I think the greatest ambition is money.
Of course.
It's money. But some way, the ambitions can be to follow a dream, to be a good person, to be successful, or to have a warm family. But it depends on different situation of people. Do they need or do they want to do? And I think a lot of kinds of ambition, but it's different in different situation.
Right. Can you specify like what different situations? You should give examples.
Example.
Because what you said, which is it sounds a bit vague. Nó nghe hơi chung chung. It sounds vague.
I think, in my opinion, the ambition I like most is follow their dream, because we need to try hard for something or to be independent and determined for something. Determine and find our lesson to improve or give and find experience to get up all the failures and it's very necessary for improve or find their dream and get successful
And become successful.
and become successful. And we can have some advice in parents or friends and to be a good to find the good way to get their ambition. And the family or friend is a big motivator to
A big motivator.
get a big motivator because they can clearly see skill that we never seen before and have us to grow it and expand many new opportunities. And I think there are a lot of benefit of close friend to encourage me to have a to have a ambition my way in my future. Yeah.
Okay, very good, very good. I think that's good enough for this topic. Let's come back to a part 2 that we had before, 61. 61. Describe a quiet place. We don't have much time left, so let's do simple part 2. I think 61. Describe a quiet place. Miêu tả một cái nơi mà yên tĩnh. It's easy. You should say where it is, when you go there, what you do there. Bạn làm gì ở đó, bạn đi đến đó lúc nào, ở đâu. Explain why it is a quiet place and why you like it. Tựa này là quá dễ cho nên là 1 phút thôi. You have 1 minute to think only. Okay, let's start now. It's 16 seconds already. Miss Ngân, you please be the first person to describe a quiet place.
Yes, actually, the church is the most respective place.
The most respective
place.
No, it's not respective, it's respectable in this case. Một
Respectable.
nơi đáng tôn trọng. Còn cái chữ respective kia là mang tính giống như là theo trật tự, theo một cái trật tự đó.
Respectable
It's
place.
the most respectable place. Một cái nơi đáng kính. It's a respectable place.
Respectable place. Because of that, it's quiet. It's really quiet for me and for everyone to go there whenever they need to be to stay alone, to pray, to release their stress.
You mean to relieve their stress?
Yes, to release their stress, especially for my case. I
Không phải release
go
nha,
there.
chữ xả stress không phải là release đâu nha. Nó là relieve their stress.
Release, giảm đau.
Làm
Release.
chứ không phải là cái chữ xả là release nha. Nó là relieve their stress. Be careful.
Yes, relieve their stress, and I tend to go there to balance my mind from upset thinking. It's also a good place for my daughter to practice walking or playing in the church yard as well. Like me, many mothers, many parents bring their children to go to church yard for some basic practicing.
Oh, some basic practice, you mean?
Basic practice in their first stage, their children's first stage.
Okay.
By walking or rolling or something like that.
Okay, and that's why I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good enough. Thank you. Now, Miss One, please. Can you describe a quiet place? Your microphone, Miss One, please. Okay. Please.
I would like to describe the Danko.
I would like them. Okay. Go straight in. Please go straight into the topic. Don't say I would like to something, please.
The quiet place I have been was the jungle in my hometown,
Did you?
in the center of Vietnam. I went there for a hiking trip. So it's in Quang Binh province.
Province.
So
Province.
Quang Binh province, and it's a primitive tropical jungle that rarely has people to come.
Okay.
They just discovered it for 5 years, so I can see has no touch with the human there. So I really like it because I can understand myself better when I was there for 2 days, and I can feel the magic of nature that
Magic of nature.
Magic of nature can
Nature, the magic of nature.
Magic of nature can
The magic of nature.
Magic of nature
Ma thuật của tự nhiên, công nghệ thiên nhiên.
can
That's why
can cause every pain in your life, in people's life.
It's a quiet place and that's why I like it.
And that's why I like it.
Okay, mình có 2 phút thôi nha. Remember we have only 2 minutes for this task 2. Now, hình như là có ai chưa đọc nhỉ? Who haven't done that?
Me.
Miss Huyền, right?
Yeah.
Okay, please describe a quiet place.
Okay. Today I'm going to talk about
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Go straight to topic, please.
Okay.
Please.
I think a quiet place is elevator. Now we know that library or cafe will more likely spark up in our mind when we are asked to name a quiet place. But I think in fact that people can really talk to each other is an elevator to know more about ourselves in the elevator. And speaking of why I think of elevator is words, thanks to your security words. As I were working my spy out of the office and in the basement last week, I couldn't find that security guard who never left his spot anywhere until the elevator built round the ring, and there his words, and he worked out the elevator with his guitar in his hand. And
I'm wrong. The thing you're saying, it's blurry. It doesn't sound clear. Can you speak slower? Nói chậm lại nha.
Slower? Okay.
Because if you don't speak slower and you just the examiner will have a problem understanding you, and that is a minus in your score. Be careful. Trừ điểm đó. Mình phải nói rõ ràng ra. Cái chuyện nhanh nó không quan trọng. Being fast is absolutely not important in IELTS.
Yeah.
People
can
understand you. That's more important.
I can start again.
Yes, please. Describe a quiet place, please.
Okay. I know library or cafe will more likely pop up in our mind when we are asked to name a quiet place. But have you ever thought about the fact that people really talk to each other in the elevator?
No, I haven't.
No, haven't. In this, when 3 to 4 people are crammed into a confined space, humans interaction.
A confined space.
Confined space.
Một nơi mà a confined space.
Yeah.
Một nơi chật hẹp. Một nơi bị bó hẹp. Chật hẹp.
Human interaction are reduced. Human interaction
will become different. You mean when you're in a confined space?
Yes, are reduced to osmosis and the awkward silence will continue until you exist. And that's why I believe the elevator is one of the quietest places, in my opinion.
The most quiet, I think the quietest. I think a quietest, but
The
quiet
quietest.
is two sounds, so I think more quiet or the most quiet.
The most quietest.
Okay,
place.
right, very good. Class, do you have any question? Should we do one more? No, because at 5:30 I have another class. I need to rest.
Okay.
So let's just end it here. Thank you, class, and I'll see you on Wednesday, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
So Wednesday, we should correct your writing task 1.
Yeah.
Thứ tư sửa bài writing task 1 nha mọi người, nên mình cứ ghi hết lên trên cái Google Docs đi. Và nhớ là các bạn phải đọc lại, kiểm tra lại lỗi chính tả các thứ nha. Remember to read everything again when you put things on the Google Docs. So on Wednesday we can fix it. Okay, I'll see you then. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Okay, that's the end of my videos. Please like, share this video with your friends, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and press on the bell button next to the subscribe button so you can get notified about my new uploads, okay? You can also press follow my Facebook, but please don't add me on Facebook as friends, okay? Cảm ơn các bạn đã theo dõi nha. Các bạn hãy nhấn vào like, chia sẻ video này bạn bè các bạn. Nhấn vào nút đăng ký kênh YouTube mình và nút cái chuông kế bên cạnh để đăng ký kênh đó, để mà các bạn có thể được thông báo về những video mới nha. Các bạn cũng có thể nhấn vào nút theo dõi Facebook mình, nhưng nhớ đừng kết bạn Facebook mình nha. Thank you and see you. Bye.